institutions. What consists of a state institution? Correct. This charge is used when a civilian or group of civilians takes over a state institution such as military base, PD, hospital. Next one is the 1.2, taking power by force. What would that entail to? Correct. It's taking control or authority through unlawful means, often including violence or intimidation. 1.3, taking hostages or kidnapping. What I'll do is I'll just read them off and then I'll give you the definition and we'll go from there. So your 1.3 is taking hostages or kidnapping. Taking or holding a civilian as security for fulfillment of a condition, such as for money or some kind of condition that they want to fulfill. Taking a person against their will and holding them captive. 1.4 is a fatal collision when a civilian dies from being struck by a car. 1.5, attempted theft. This charge applies when a civilian does / try to steal and fails. You have a suspect in the back of your unit and they did / tries to steal officer's donut or officer's food and fails, you can hit him with a 1.5. 1.6, robbery of a police officer when a civilian does / tries steals something from a police officer and is successful, or / do steals something from a police officer is a 1.6. 1.7, uncoordinated entry onto territory protected by law. A civilian trespassing on a territory. If a civilian is asked to leave and refuses to do so, the civilian is now trespassing from the area. This includes HPPD and military base. 1.8, collision with a pedestrian. When a vehicle driven by a civilian makes contact with a pedestrian, person on foot, and does not die, this charge can be applied. This does not apply if the suspect hits a vehicle. Now, with that being said, if you are a witness to somebody BDMing another person, you can hit them with a 3.4, a 1.8. Now, if that person that they hit dies, then you can hit them with a 1.4 as well. 1.9, discharging a weapon in a public place. One state is a concealed carry only. No civilian is to open carry. 1.9 can be applied to any civilian open carrying in public. Discharge is not solely for discharging a weapon. It happens a lot at HP. They have a lot of them. The gangs like to have their weapons out in HP, inside, outside. Any place in public is one state is a concealed carry, so you can charge them with a 1.9. 1.10, bribing a police officer, offering or giving something of value, favors, money, etc., in hopes and persuades the officer's decision or actions. If they sit here and tell you, you know what, I'll give you $5 million to let me out, you can hit them with a 1.10. 1.11, murder of a civilian or police officer. Pay very close attention to these next two ones. This charge is an automatic charge that applies in white zones, neutral. This charge is only applied to a suspect if you witness a civilian police officer being murdered in a red or green zone. 1.12, assault on a police officer hitting. This charge is an automatic charge that applies in white zones, neutral. This charge is only applied to a suspect if you witness the assault. This includes being run over by a car, shot, punched, etc. Green and red zones only. Anywhere that has a white zone, it's an automatic charge. You have to actually witness it being done in a red or green zone to put that charges on them. Otherwise, it is considered double stacking. Civil 2.1, harm or damage to state property. This applies for any damages to state property, hitting, shooting a police car, tagging walls that belong to the state, running over street signs, poles, etc. So you pull somebody over and they start hitting your vehicle, you can hit them with a 1 or 2.1 because it is a patrol vehicle and is a part of state property. 2.2, harm or damage to private property. This applies for any damages to private property, hitting, shooting civilian cars, tagging private houses, businesses, etc. You can hit them with a 2.2. 2.3, false calls to police and emergency services, calling 911 and making claims of emergency, or intending to mislead authorities, medics, or wasting the time of medic staff and PD staff. 2.4, debauchery. Turning on music after being asked to turn it off, spitting in someone's face, etc. Going to the extreme for pleasure, for example, drug use, alcohol use, sexual activity, playing music after being asked to stop, unrestricted behavior, toxic behaviors. / try to see if name is driving under the influence. / try to find illegal drugs on. That's new. Names person. So say for example, you have a suspect in custody, and while in the back of your unit, they do / do or / tries to smoke a joint. You can actually, it's promoting drug use, so you can hit it for with a 2.4. So with alcohol use, it's promotion or trying to promote alcohol and drug abuse. 2.5, murder threats. This applies for civilian murder. If you witness a murder, you can apply this charge. This charge also includes any threats of murder. 2.6, insulting a state employee. It must be directed towards you personally, not the department. This falls under a broad umbrella of things: harassment, unwelcome verbal misconduct, or any cursing towards one individual person. Not insulting employee if directed at the entire faction. This is more for a personal verbal attack. 2.7, extortion, demanding or receiving something of value, money, favors, etc., under threat of harm, death, or exploitation. You have a suspect in custody and you tell them, you sit there and tell them, hey, give me $1 million and I'll let you go, or I'll give you drugs for this. It's a 2.7 extortion. Kind of like bribing of an officer, but instead of them bribing you, you're bribing them. Administrative 3.1, resisting arrest. Intentionally preventing or obstructing a police officer from making an arrest by using force, running, struggling, continuously moving far so charges can't be applied. Refusing to comply with orders, refusing to sign, accept citation, etc. So you have a suspect in custody, you're trying to apply the charges on them, and they're moving around on you. You can actually hit them with 3.1 if they refuse to comply with the orders of refusing to sign or accept the citation. You can also slap a 3.1 on them as well. 3.2, disobeying a police officer, intentionally refusing or failing to comply with a lawful order or direction given by a police officer. This can include refusing to pull over, stop, does not have to be vocal. Failing to provide documents, ID information requested, refusing to sign citation, giving false names, fleeing, attempting to escape. 3.3, aiding the resist of arrest, helping a suspect avoid arrest. If a civilian tasers you to help a suspect get away, gets in the way of the suspect, uses their vehicle to block you from getting to the suspect, crashes into you to make you lose control during a chase, etc. 3.4, violation of traffic rules. Any offense committed while driving a vehicle, speeding, driving on the wrong side of the road, hitting poles, crashing, VDM, running stop signs, drunk driving, etc. 3.5, assault on a civilian. This is applied if you witness a civilian shooting another civilian. This includes a driver who runs over a pedestrian. So you can hit, you see they hit a civilian, you can hit with their vehicle. You can hit them with a 0.5, a 3.4, and a 1.8. Now, if they die, that's a whole lot of charges because you could do a 3.4, or sorry, 3.5, 3.4, 1.8, and a 1.4. All right, last but not least is your 3.6, refusal to represent requested documents. If a suspect refuses to give you any documents, a license, gun license, vehicle specs, etc., we do not ask for passports. We only ask for a driver's license. Any questions? All right, go ahead and turn your body cam off.